niggas don't want no smoke. No, these niggas don't want no smoke.
Yeah. See, it's not regular, y'all, but we OGs. And that's why they face so sour. You see, these niggas don't want no smoke. Bro, these niggas don't want no smoke. My side piece staring at me as she tear up. I bought her a love seat, told her cheer up. It's time to gear up to send me a house spark.
Welcome to Smoke Wanted Podcast, hosted by Hall of Fame worthy. Let me start that all over. You in season 2. Big shout out to season 1 that we did, you know what I'm saying, with all the episodes. My favorite episode from season 1 is Jordan is not the GOAT, part 2, because everybody didn't like that, what I had to say about Jordan. Be on the lookout for part 3. But before that, if you're new to this channel, you're new to the podcast, hit that like button. You on YouTube, or Facebook. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell, get all these notifications and everything, you know what I mean? To go down with Smoke Wanted Podcast. Episode 1 of season 2, we're going to be talking about who would you rather build a franchise around. I know they did articles on better career, but what we're gonna do today is who would you rather build your franchise around with all you know that happened already? Who would you rather build your franchise around? You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. Our 2 comparisons today. Kobe, rest in peace, Kobe versus Tim Duncan. I already did a post. We already did a post on Smoke Wanted Podcast on Facebook. We already did a post. And we already stated who I thought and who we thought was better or had the better career. That goes to Tim Duncan. If I say, you know, Tim Duncan was the star of that team. He had help, but he was the star. He wasn't like Kobe Bryant. I don't want to say Kobe wasn't the star on the first team where he did the first 3-peat. He wasn't the star. Although he made a lot of things happen, but Shaq was the primary guy. Let's get that straight. Shaq was the primary guy. I don't want to hear that Kobe Bryant was the guy and Shaq was, you know, not doing whatever he's supposed to do. He did get big, but Shaq was the guy. He did gain weight, probably got a little slower, but Shaq was the guy. Shaq was the MVP of that team. When it came to, let's say, Gasol years with Kobe, Kobe was the man. And after Shaq left, Kobe was the man, hands down. Hands down the man of the league, maybe, until LeBron came. But that's another subject. But Tim Duncan was the guy. Let's see if we can get into some personal accolades of Tim Duncan versus Kobe. We'll read off with both of it, what they both did, and then go into other things. But right now we're gonna look up Tim Duncan. Wikipedia. Tim Duncan's Wikipedia. Let's read all the things young Timmy got going for himself. First off, he was a 5-time NBA champion. We know that. 3 times an NBA Finals MVP. 2 times most valuable player regular season wise. 15-time All-Star. NBA All-Star Game MVP in the year 2000. It's crazy for him. 10-time 10-time All NBA First Team. 3-time NBA second team, 2-time NBA third team, 8-time all defensive first team. Hall of Fame worthy says 8-time NBA all defensive first team, 7-time NBA all defensive second team, NBA rookie of the year. This is all Tim Duncan, by the way, guys. NBA all first rookie team, NBA teammate of the year 2015. Great guy, Tim Duncan is. Great guy. U.S. Basketball Male Athlete of the Year 2003. Oh gosh, it just keeps on going. Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. That throw that out the window. I don't even know why I read that. Come on now. 2-time consensus first team All-American. Listen, it just keeps on going on. But let's go to college. 3-time NABC Defensive Player of the Year. 2-time ACC Player of the Year. 3-time first team All-ACC. And he had his number retired by his college that he went to, Wake Forest. Tim Duncan, you guys. Absolutely great career. They go into his points, his career statistics. Points, points for his whole career, he had 26,496. Over 15,000 rebounds. And 4,225 assists, which he averaged 3 per game as a power forward / center. Guy of the Spurs after David Robinson was there. You know what I'm talking about? So Tim Duncan, and plus he's the power forward / center. Okay. So now let's go into Kobe's Wikipedia. I'm going into Kobe's Wikipedia. Sorry, you guys. You know what I'm talking about? But we here. Season 2, episode 1. Smoke One podcast. Kobe versus Tim Duncan. Who would you rather build your franchise around? So let's go to Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. This is not a attack on Kobe. You know what I'm talking about? This is just something, stating who would you rather build your franchise around, knowing all that we know. So Kobe Bryant's Wikipedia and his personal, what he got going on for his career. Let's go into that. We all know he's a 5-time NBA champion. Everybody thinks he's waving, but no, Kobe is, everybody used to think that Kobe used to wave when he used to come onto the floor after he retired. But no, he's letting you know he has 5 rings. He did this 5 times. That's what he's saying. 5. He's holding up 5 for 5 rings. So he's 5-time NBA champion, 2 times Finals MVP, 1-time NBA Most Valuable Player, which he should have had it twice, which Steve Nash kind of got it, because of what Kobe had going on outside the basketball world. Everybody knows that story, but he should have had 2 instead of 1. He's an 18 NBA All-Star selection. He has 18 of those. 4 times he was the NBA All-Star Game MVP. That's amongst all the All-Stars that was out there on the court. 4 times he shined the brightest. Okay, we give him that. 11-time All-NBA first team, 2-time All-NBA second team, 2-time All-NBA third team, 9-time All-Defensive first team. It's crazy for Kobe. He's known as a scorer. And, he not a lockdown defender like Klay Thomas, but Kobe will defend you and he will guard you. He wasn't scared to guard anybody. Okay? 3-time NBA All-Defensive second team. He was a scoring champ twice. We already know the fucking the craziness, the crazy tears he used to go on. Kobe Bryant used to go on tears during the season. murking people, and he gave Toronto Raptors and Jalen Rose them 80-something points he did. You know what I'm talking about? That 80 he gave him in one game on Jalen Rose head. We ain't gonna talk about that. NBA Slam Dunk Contest champion, throwing it down. NBA Rookie of the Year, NBA All Rookie Season team. Both his jerseys, 8 and 24, retired by the Los Angeles Lakers, without a doubt, you know. And he has no college stats because the boy was balling straight out of high school, you know what I'm talking about? So his points though, his career points, 33,643, average 25 a game for his career. Rebounds, 7,000, over 7,000, excuse me. Assists, 6,306. He averaged 4 of those a game. Excuse me, almost 5, so it's 4.7. You know, he did everything with USA. He brought that USA gold medal home. You already know. So Kobe did a lot. So we just went through Tim Duncan's Wikipedia with his career stats, and we went through Kobe Bryant's Wikipedia a few seconds ago. Me personally, Kobe had the better career. But I personally would rather, let me scratch that. I know we said before we're picking Tim Duncan to have the better career, but, as far as points scored and putting the ball in the basket and those things, Kobe had a better career on that aspect. Tim Duncan is all right, scratch that. Tim Duncan had the better career. Kobe Bryant was just a better basketball player. Should I say that? Because I don't want to retract or go back and say that we made a mistake on our post on Facebook and Bleacher Report. Listen, we chose Tim Duncan. That's who we rolling with. And we're going to roll with him on this topic also, because we'll rather build around a power forward / center. All the things that Tim Duncan did as far as being a teammate, a solid teammate, never really got into anything at all. Probably got a technical foul one time where he got thrown out the game, where he was sitting on the sideline very surprised. Tim Duncan was like, what'd I do? Like, I just probably looked at him and he's throwing me out the game while I'm sitting on the bench. Like, I'm not sure how many technical fouls he got in his career, but I'm sure I only saw one. And that's the famous one where he's like smiling on the bench, like, I gotta go. So he rarely got in trouble. As far as a threat on the court, Tim Duncan was a threat as soon as he got there. He was Rookie of the Year. He was the #1 pick of his draft. His team needed him. David Robinson was on his way out. Tim Duncan stepped up and made him a championship team right away. As soon as he got there, made them a championship caliber team. Big man, post moves, fundamentals out of this world. Did what he's supposed to do on the court. Fundamentals out of this world. Backboard shots, back you down. Little jump hook. Rebounds was crazy. Like, as a big man, you would want to build your squad around a big man. Kobe Bryant's a shooting guard. One of the best shooting guards the league ever seen. You know what I'm talking about? Like, listen, he's better than Michael Jordan, Kobe is. And I'm going to tell you, and that's going to be another post coming up. Excuse me, not another post. Yeah, a post coming up and another episode that, we're definitely taking Kobe over Jordan. just because Kobe was more flashy with it. But that's another episode. But Kobe put the ball in the hole also. Kobe's game high, 88 was at 81. He's a skillful player. Jump shot, mid-range was insane. Athletic as I don't know what the fuck. You know, he was just a absolute one of the best players the world ever seen. You know, a little bit ball hoggish with Kobe, you know, but at times he said he was the only really player that can score on the floor in his whole team. He was like, well, I'm supposed to pass to, you know, like what was the guy I was supposed to pass it to? Kwame Brown, or I forgot like who else he played with. It's a quote that he said that of course I'm gonna be the ball hog. I'm supposed to pass it to these guys. These guys ain't really gonna score for our team. So I'm gonna do all the scoring. I'd rather deal with my shots and me missing, or deal with me taking that shot than these guys, because these guys is literally just bums. He used to say it in practice and everything. Talking shit to them niggas. Excuse my language, really talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Smoke Wanted Podcast, by the way. You can just follow us. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Bleacher Report. You know, that's just a little disclaimer. And, you know, trying to promote the page during the episode. So, in the comments, people, you know, you got a lot of Kobe lovers. And plus, he just passed away. Rest in peace, Kobe. But they gotta understand, they gotta know that Tim Duncan had the better career, and a lot of people will rather build around Tim Duncan just because, I mean, after all we know, after like both their careers are finished right now. We know that they're both 5-time champions. Tim Duncan has one more MVP than Kobe Bryant does. He should have had the same. Kobe scored more points than Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan grabbed more rebounds than Kobe. Kobe had more assists. But all in all, who would you take? One was an absolute, I'm talking an absolute stud first year. I think either the first or second year their team winning the chip. And he's the reason why, the plain reason why. I just think Kobe had more tools in his shed. But Tim Duncan, I think, did more with his tools that he had in his shed. He just did a little bit more than Kobe Bryant did. Didn't have, and plus, no matter what. And I'm not saying that Kobe Bryant was a bad teammate, but I tell you what, if they don't get like big-headed, Shaq don't get big-headed, Kobe don't get big-headed, Kobe don't start, you know, snitching on Shaq and doing all, you know, saying Shaq's lazy. And if Kobe don't do that, Kobe is probably tied with Tim Duncan, because probably passes Tim Duncan, because he wouldn't get Shaq out of the picture. He would ball with Shaq, get a couple more rings, and would be probably 6 or 7 rings, and Tim Duncan would have a 5. But what Kobe did was get big-headed, run into some problems, threw his teammate under the bus, made himself look like of a fool in the midst of all that, and really didn't show good teammate abilities to like look past, this is my team, instead of doing what Tim Duncan did. This is our team. Excuse me. This is our team. But I tell you what, they both have they both are in some good company though. With this one thing here, I wanted to say Tim Duncan and Kobe is 2 of the 3 people to have at least 10 selections to the NBA All-Star, to have at least 10 selections to the NBA All-NBA team and the All-Defensive NBA team. And the only other person to do that was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So these guys are in good company as it is anyway. But us at Smoke Wanted Podcast, Hall of Fame worthy, you know what I'm talking about? Just think that Tim Duncan had the better, like, I would rather build my team around a big guy anyway. And a skillful big guy, like a big man that had the skills that Tim Duncan had. You can't find that everywhere. The skills that Kobe Bryant, you can't find his certain skills. But you can find shooting guards that's gonna play ball, that's gonna put the ball in the hole. Not like Kobe. But you're gonna find them shooting guards that are gonna put the ball in the hole. You ain't gonna find too many power forwards / centers that's gonna be able to put the ball in the hole, play defense, run up and down the court, play at both ends of the floor, and actually did what Tim Duncan did. You're not gonna find that in any power forward, just any power forward / center. He went through Kobe a couple of times to do what he did. I also think, if I'm not mistaken, they beat Shaq and Kobe also. I don't want to say Tim Duncan, like all the success of the Spurs is because of Tim Duncan. No. Ginobili, Parker, Leonard, like a lot of people had like hands in that. So on Kobe's side, Kobe's 5 championships, Derek Fisher, Robert Horry, Shaq, never mind Shaq, you know, on his second run, to the Kobe's second run, he had Pau Gasol. Listen, Ron Artest was special. Lamar Odom, stud. Like, these guys, like, it wasn't bums. You know what I mean? But I want to say that the Lakers teams were a little better than the Spurs teams, and if not better, a little bit more flashier. Had like a lot of light on the Lakers, while the Spurs was the dark horse team that you will always see them. And it wasn't like that until Timmy got there. You know what I'm talking about? Timmy changed the whole culture of that franchise. Number 1 pick, brought there for what he was brought there to do something, and he did it. You see, Kobe Bryant got drafted by Charlotte, was traded to Lakers, if I'm not mistaken, for Vlade Divac. Do you think that if Charlotte knew what Kobe was going to be today, they wouldn't have traded him away? But if Kobe was that type of, you see, I don't want to say that. You know, I don't want to get caught up talking about if Kobe was that type of guy, they would have took him number 1 pick, because, you know, Tim Duncan had film on him. He played collegiate basketball with Wake Forest, and you saw what he could probably do you could see flashes of what he could probably do in the NBA when he was playing in the college. You could see that. You couldn't get a sample size of what Kobe could do in professional world or collegiate basketball because he just came from high school busting folks up in Philly. You know what I'm talking about? So you couldn't really see what Kobe did. And I understand that's why they probably traded him off for Vlade, for Divac. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Trading Kobe for Vlade Divac. Fuck out of here. Yeah. Not saying that makes you that makes Kobe worse, or that's why we're not running with Kobe because he wasn't picked first in his draft, but Tim Duncan was number 1 in his draft brought there for what he's supposed to do, win, and why they picked him. He won, and he's the reason why they won, probably up till he retired. He was going his career, as his career winded down, he was coming a little, but he still was a factor. And you couldn't look past Tim Duncan. Kobe, on the other hand, injuries plagued his career at the end. Well, not plagued his career, but at the end of his career, he had a bad injury, Achilles, and still, his last game, monumental, one of the best games I ever saw. And they talking about Utah was letting them. Utah could let you do whatever. You still got to put that ball in the basket. You still got to put that ball through that net. And Kobe did that. 60 points in his last game, bad ankles, Achilles, all that. And his age and his last game, when it all had to matter, he scored 60-something points and won the game on a comeback. One of the greatest games ever. I don't care. Shout out to Kobe for that. Because he did the damn thing that night, and when it all counted, his last game, last time you saw him on the court playing basketball, he showed you what greatness was about. No doubt. But Tim Duncan was that heat. So, Smoke One Podcast, we are going with Tim Duncan as the person that we'll rather build around. You guys in the comments, let us know. Who would you rather build around? Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan? And like I said at the start of this podcast, if you're new to it, if you're on any platform, you're on Facebook, hit that like button. You on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that bell, get all these notifications when we drop these videos, you know what I'm talking about? We on Twitter. Retweet us. Retweet our comparisons. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we got a comparison that's about to come out, Kobe versus Jordan. I know the world is going to hate that, but... and you know them Jordan fans out there, you can't tell me that Kobe Bryant is better than his teacher. He learned everything from Jordan. Shut your ass up, man. Kobe Bryant over Jordan. But anyway, Smoke One Podcast. I am your host, Hall of Fame worthy. Follow us anywhere and everywhere, especially on Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report is on that heat right now. But anyway, we out. Till the next time, Smoke On It. One.
These niggas don't want no smoke. No, these niggas don't want no smoke.
Yeah. You see, it's not regular, y'all, but we OGs. And that's why they face so sour. You see, these niggas don't want no smoke. Bro, these niggas don't want no smoke. My side piece staring at me as she tear up. I bought her a love seat, told her cheer up. It's time to gear up to send me a house spark. I'm in the hood.